The Premiership on ITV, sponsored by Coca-Cola.
No other team has won the title for 8 years. No other team will win it this year. Arsenal or Manchester United. It's the game everybody's been talking about.
If they don't want to play in these games, there's something wrong with them.
We want to beat them at Highbury. We want it so much that we will get it.
It's up to us to take advantage of it. There's a lot of good players in that dressing room who want to do it.
It's in our hands. We know that if we do well at home, we will win the championship, and we will do it.
If this game wouldn't decide the Barclaycard Premiership title, it would go a long way to pointing out the eventual winners. We'll find out if Andy and Ron now think they know who'll be the champions. So, high anxiety, high stakes, Highbury. Commentator, Clive Tilsley.
Who wants it? Both teams have talked a good game, but the barking is over. And it's time to see who has the bigger bite. The team news is made by David Seaman, who misses out through illness. Stuart Taylor keeps goal for Arsenal. Gilberto, Pires, Bergkamp and Henry all return from the weekend. And Patrick Vieira has shaken off a knee injury. An almighty collision of captains is ensured by Roy Keane's recovery to skipper the same United lineup that trounced Newcastle on Saturday. And that means a watching brief to begin with for David Beckham. It is the match of the season, but it is not the only match of the season. No decisions tonight. Some big, big clues, though. Manchester United in all blue. Wes Brown forward to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is effectively keeping Beckham out of the team. Surprise nobody to find the Premiership trophy heading for Highbury or Old Trafford. 9 of the 10 Premiership titles have been won by one or the other. It has been largely a question of which of them would win it, and it still is. Pires, Vieira. Needed 3 of them to gang up on Patrick Vieira. Brown. It's clever. But well, he was fouled by Vieira. Feeling that the ball was running out of Nicky Butt's control. Scholes and King just about working it out. Gilberto more up and out. This is Wes Brown. Nicky Butt. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Whipped in towards Paul Scholes, and it was a real opening for the man in goal-scoring form. Drifted between defenders onto a whipped cross from Solskjaer that Beckham himself would have been proud of. And that was a wasted chance by Paul Scholes' weekend standards. Manchester United player inside his own half of the field as Campbell surveys the crowd scene in front of him, on by Bergkamp, away by O'Shea. Keane trusting Ferdinand on the edge of his own penalty area. Kicks to O'Shea. Just coasts forward from fullback. Little flick from Scholes, and Van Nistelrooy is there, and that is the roof of the net. Closest scrape yet. Surprise, surprise, Ruud Van Nistelrooy. There's the man who so nearly scored. Really good decision by the assistant. He was a good yard on. At least Stuart Taylor got to him quickly and made it as difficult as he could. Too difficult even for Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Cole to Pires. Chugging running action does carry a deceptive pace. He's eased to the ground by Wes Brown, who's been penalised. Running does look a struggle, doesn't it, for Robert Pires, but you try to catch him. Campbell is forward. Henry has gone wide to take. Swung in towards Sol Campbell. Didn't quite get the power necessary. Challenges were good. But sitting out Scholes, asking just a bit too much of his fellow Mancunian. Agricultural from Ferdinand. Taking chances, though. Confident play that by O'Shea. He's got the slightest of touches to link up with Van Nistelrooy. The biggest goal of the Premiership season so far has been scored by Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Through the legs of Sol Campbell, en route to giving Manchester United the lead at Highbury, and the comeback continues. The Manchester United Championship challenge grows stronger and stronger, and Ruud Van Nistelrooy gets more and more prolific, more goals than he scored last season already. Will he now get more medals than he got last season? He got clear and had the presence of mind and the sureness of foot to put a smile on the face of his manager and every Manchester United fan. He's sold himself. As it happens, it's come off Scholes. It's ominous for the Arsenal skipper. Henry. Turned away by Ferdinand. It looked like Van Nistelrooy's arm. Good advantage play. Vieira on the ball. Now Bergkamp trying to lift it over Barthez. He did that much. He lifted it over the frame of his goal too. Certainly not frightened to try. Captain's armband is coming off, and the thickness of the padding round Patrick Vieira's knee was the clue to the scale of the gamble that Arsenal took on him tonight. And the gamble has not paid off. He has not been moving freely. And with less than 34 minutes played, he is replaced by Edu, who was involved in the title running last season. Manchester United's name did not appear on top of the Barclaycard Premiership table until March the 22nd, and then only for 24 hours. This is the first time all season they have held the lead for longer than that. Arsenal have led the way for all but about 6 weeks of the season so far. turn the tide of this match, if they're to turn the current title tide. Gilberto rather hopefully forward towards Henry, although he's won it in the air, and here comes Pires. And now Ljungberg. Roll back to Gilberto. Clipped in towards Ljungberg again, seen off. Pires with a shot! Diverted onto the roof of the net. There were half-hearted appeals for a nudge by Sylvestre there. As Ljungberg went to ground, it was Ljungberg it hit, I think. Corner given. Henry. Headed by Ferdinand. And Scholes sees off the danger, does more than that. He's found Van Nistelrooy, who has Giggs breaking to his right. Quick feet, though, from Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Away from Ashley Cole, but not from Lauren. Bergkamp filling in. Well, they cruised past Liverpool and Newcastle en route to Highbury, and Manchester United have had it a little easier than many might have expected tonight. Ruud Van Nistelrooy has scored the only goal, but it is not the only chance that the visitors have created. A little concern over Wes Brown as a half that comes to an end with Alex Ferguson's team in charge of the match and of the title race with it, leading 1-0. The good news for Manchester United is that the injury that Wes Brown suffered at the end of the first half is not too serious. The bad news is that John O'Shea has been unable to continue further and has been replaced by Gary Neville. The story of the match has been the story of the month. Arsenal searching for a lost rhythm. Manchester United finding a growing assurance. The two title rivals are in slightly different gears at present. Can Arsenal change that? Wes Brown did need a couple of stitches in that head wound. He's back alongside Rio Ferdinand, with Sylvestre now playing at left back. Gary Neville at right back. It was the reverse fixture that clinched Arsenal's 12th championship last May, completing a double over United. Now United are the ones seeking such a double. Their 2-0 win at Old Trafford in December got them back in the race. Solskjaer. There was, by luck and judgment, that it reached the Arsenal number 7. Ljungberg, always bouncing and bobbling, just showed enough of it to Roy Keane to tempt him. And it's not the first mistimed challenge of the evening by the Manchester United skipper. The referee gave it some thought, and then thought the card needs to come out here. There as quickly as I could, ref. Manchester United have not lost a Premiership fixture since the match in which he made his return to the first 11 on Boxing Day. It will be Edu, and now it will be Henry, or it would have been, but for Nicky Butt. Edu managing to recover possession for Arsenal. Said he was in the position he wanted to be coming into the game. He's now in the position he wants to be in the game, pole position. Cole. Pires. Did well to thread that through to Bergkamp, and Cole has gone on, and he's turned away from Brown and got a shot in. It's there! Ashley Cole! They are still the champions, and they want it to stay that way. A break of the ball when Arsenal needed it most, and they're on terms. Cole it was who just kept on going, got on the dangerous side of Gary Neville, turned away from Brown, and did it hit Henry on the way in? It did. And I dare say that he will claim it. Ashley Cole made it happen, but it was the back of the calves of Thierry Henry that defeated his French international teammate Fabien Barthez. Big, big break for Arsenal. Perez. Henry. Cole. Bergkamp. And his bender struck his own player, did it? No, corner's been given. Must have come off a Manchester United body last. A little bit of wind has found the Arsenal sails. Mr. Breath. Edu takes the corner. Barthez punches rather nervously and rather straight. Bergkamp gets it back. This is Henry. Good challenge by Keane. Had to be. Inside his own penalty area and on a booking. Giggs. Scholes. Sylvester's forward. Played inside. Lauren for Mikel Sylvestre. Goal kick. Not sure that Paul Scholes had to do Sylvestre work for him there. I think he could have played it to his feet. The two managers are very different folks, different strokes of genius about their management styles. But like when the fighter and the boxer come together in the ring, it makes for a classic contest on and off the field. Rick. Run it back from Brown. Just run it back from Manchester United. Ball just kept Ljungberg on the way out, although the assistant has given Arsenal a throw. Perez. Challenged by Butt again. Crossed by Ljungberg. Gary Neville. Reasonably calmly done. His first touch was a good one. I'm sure the initial decision was. Gilberto. Oh, and here's Henry. He's got on the dangerous side of Brown, and he's made it 2-1 to the reigning champions. They don't want that trophy to go anywhere. Thierry Henry, who else, has scored the 2 goals. One very lucky, one very typical, that have turned the game around. But was he onside? No, I don't think he was. He looked beyond the last defender, and maybe it's 2 lucky goals. He took the chance very calmly, but certainly the initial suggestion there is that he's beyond the last defender when the ball is played there. The flag stayed down, and fortune has favoured Arsenal tonight, make no mistake about it. Martin Atkinson, the assistant referee, did not give a decision which Manchester United seemed to merit. Solskjaer into Giggs, 2-2. Instant justice. All square again. Ryan Giggs, who scored against Liverpool, who scored against Newcastle, has now scored against Arsenal. And it's 2-2. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer providing the bend it like Beckham cross, and a simple header for Ryan Giggs, who scored that PlayStation goal in the 1999 semi-final to beat Arsenal at Villa Park, and has now squared this match up with a very straightforward headed goal, and Arsene Wenger's team lost their concentration. Has got in behind Manchester United again. Brown recovered. Corner kick. He does carry the fight, Ashley Cole. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is, despite the excellence of the cross which led to the second goal, playing essentially out of position. takes. And so does Bartes. Quickly out to Giggs. Cole quickly across, and Youngberg got to grips with Ryan Giggs. There's a sense of injustice running through Manchester United at the moment. Giggs got away initially from Cole, and Youngberg manhandled him to the ground. Now what does Cole do? Oh, it's Youngberg in actual fact, and it's something and nothing. Solskjaer breaking from deep. It's a good first touch by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He managed to pop the ball in front of him. Campbell came across, and then did he catch Solskjaer in the face? Well, the assistant on the near side had a very good view of that, and is flagging certainly for a free kick in Manchester United's favour. Now, what more has Nigel Miller got to say to the referee, Mark Halsey? Solskjaer was in pursuit of Campbell. And after all the pleasantries have been exchanged, the important exchange will be between the two men in green.
Caught you in the elbow, yeah. It's struck the yellow, it's something you were to red. Well, he seemed to stop, yeah. He seemed to stop and deliberately felt an elbow in the face. Deliberately, yeah.
There is a card coming out of the pocket for Sol Campbell. It's red. Sol Campbell's been sent off. It was difficult to see how it could be yellow. It had to be one thing or the other. Now we've got the benefit of another look. Well, he certainly reached out with his right hand and caught Solskjaer. It was not a natural swing of the running arm. He pushed him away as much as anything. It may be that the elbow caught Solskjaer in the face. I think his intention was to fend him off. But it was a deliberate action by Campbell, no doubt about that. It wasn't an accidental collision. And Arsenal have to play the remaining 7 minutes without Sol Campbell. Suspicion now is that he will have to do without Sol Campbell for the FA Cup final. It is his second dismissal of the season, and that would be a 4-game suspension. Ferdinand. Taylor came to claim it and then decided against it. Directed Cole to clear. He followed instructions. Keane. Giggs. Kanu is certainly capable of keeping possession, although he ran that one out of play. And he's got himself a throw. Henry got up. Sylvester away, but only as far as Thierry Henry. Good save by Bartes. Edu's header backwards, not forwards. Kanu will bring it forwards. Henry is pulled out wide now. And Bartes again denies him in rather more conventional fashion the second time around, but it was a good instinctive save. Lauren has won it back from Giggs, but has been penalised in the process. Look at the reaction on the touchline behind Monsieur Wenger, and Sir Alex had front row views of that. As you were, the championship will be decided up and down the motorways of England over the coming month. Nothing to separate the two protagonists tonight, but some debatable decisions and how they will be debated. Little to separate them in the standings, and the race goes on. After a racy night at Highbury, finishes Arsenal 2, Manchester United 2. Who wants it? The barking is over, and it's time to see who has the bigger bite. Ruud van Nistelrooy, 1-0. And he's there. They are still the champions. Oh, and here's Henry. He's got on the dangerous side of Brown, and he's made it 2-1. Giggs, 2-2. Sol Campbell's been sent off. As you were, nothing to separate the two protagonists tonight.
Arsenal 2, Manchester United 2 tonight. Plenty of drama, tons of controversy, and bags of opinion.
The Sol Campbell sending off, what did you make of that?
Sol is destroyed because he cannot understand what happened to him. And in fairness, common sense, why should you have elbowed Solskjaer first when you see the football situation? There's no interest at all to hit anybody. He's on the ball.
I touched him with my palm and my my lower forearm. So, and it wasn't as if I was looking back. I was kind of balanced as well to clear the ball up, down the line. But the linesman deemed it to be deliberate. Me personally, I don't think it was deliberate. And well, I know it wasn't deliberate. In my heart, I wouldn't do that. I'm not that type of player.
The second goal was, as I was seen in television, was 2 yards offside. That's disappointing in a game of this nature. But then you have to show your character, and we come right up the park and scored the second goal.
Were you aware of just how offside Thierry Henry was for that second goal?
I wasn't. It was Wesburn. I said, well, how? He says it was behind me. Well, if it's behind Wes, I'm sure he was offside because he's a clever defender, and he wouldn't have got caught in that. I'm sure of it.
Are you surprised to see no flag for your second goal, no linesman's flag?
That's none of my job. My job is to turn and go and score. So I know I heard that some people were saying that I might have been off, even that I was maybe, but that's not me to stop. And to be honest, at the beginning of the season, I had 3 goals disallowed because I was off and I was on. So
we don't help Patrick at all, and I think it's unfair to him to push him every time into a game when he's not right.
Will he play again this season?
I don't know. I hope yes, of course. Why? I don't know for how long he will be out, but I think there's over a month to go, and I hope he will play again this season.
Could come down to goal difference.
I know, worry about that. But the thing is, I think there'll be points dropped because there's some tough games ahead. There'll be 4 tough games. We realise that, and ask for some tough games, and I think it's still points to be dropped.
Well, it was compelling without being a classic, Andy, but United had much the better start, didn't they?
They did. They made good use of the possession that they had in the first half there. They got people forward to support Van Nistelrooy. Looked dangerous, looked to have a real goal threat in them. And we'll see that Paul Scholes from the weekend in fantastic goal-scoring form, that's a sitter, I think, for him. In the form he has been in lately, that is a real chance. Could have put them ahead there. And Van Nistelrooy as well. Again, he's in razor-sharp form. Great little turn around the corner from Scholes. And you would expect him, even though that's a difficult opportunity, I would expect him to score there.
Yeah, but the beauty of Van Nistelrooy is, he never stops persevering. Here, great little flick on there from Giggs, across the line of the defender, lobs the keeper beautifully. We see it from another angle here, built up from the back. I don't think that's a spotter's badge there from Nistelrooy. I think he's just whacked it. But this is all great link-up with the two strikers on the night. Here he goes across. You see, Keown cannot get across. Dan touch him there. Left back can't get involved. Keeper's no chance. That is top-class finishing.
Arsenal looked much more businesslike in the start of the second half. Have a look at the 2 Henry goals for us. The first one was a bit lucky. The second one was very controversial.
Yeah, they sort of stumbled back to level in the game. They weren't playing anything like what we've seen of them during the season, but give them a bit of credit. They kept bombing forward. Ashley Cole, how they've missed him when they had Van Bronckhorst playing. They didn't have this driving threat that he gives them from that left-back position. And now it's bobbling and bouncing all over the place. How does it end up in the back of the net? And you see that it takes a wicked deflection off of Thierry Henry and goes through Barthez's legs. But again, the left-back makes it out of nothing. He just puts himself into an area, and all of a sudden, it just drops kindly for him on his right foot. Suggestion, possibly offside, Ron, of that?
Yeah, we'll give the linesman the benefit of the doubt there, because Henry may just have been offside. He may not have been. but there's no excuse. Nutmeg, of course, on the keeper.
How many times this happens when it
Time
seems
and
to
time
fly
again.
through the goalkeeper's
They
legs?
always say that's the hardest for a keeper to do, with the one that goes very close to his body. But stroke of luck there, plenty of luck there for Arsenal. Certainly a huge slice of it here. No excuse whatsoever for me, the decision. There's Gilbert on the ball, no pressure, spots him out. And that looks a great threaded pass, looks a great tuck away, and you think, that's good football. United defence may have been sleeping. But have a look here. You've got Henry, you've got the linesman circled there. You see Henry there, he's miles offside, he's walking back. He doesn't want to be interfering with play, he's just trying to stay out of the action. All of a sudden, when Gilberto spots him in, he thinks, hey, there's something in this for me. He's still offside when he receives. And it's a good finish, but how the linesman missed that. I mean, they talk about having cameras, evidence and such a thing. There's no excuse for me for that linesman missing that decision.
United would consider themselves very unlucky to be 2-1 down at that stage. Then Giggs got in with this goal, but how was he allowed to score with all those Arsenal defenders in the box?
The amount of times this happens as well, even at the very, very top of the game, with the top players, they've just got themselves in front, and you just draw in breath. You're thinking, come on, let's hang in there now. Let's see the next 5 minutes off, and we can win this game. And they don't hardly get a foot on the ball. United again, they keep popping it forward, looking to play. There's plenty of Arsenal pressure, but they don't win it back. And now all of a sudden they've got dragged across the field, and they've got an overload on this right-hand side. Gary Neville and Solskjaer here. Ashley Cole can't commit himself, but lots of red shirts in there, but no one picking up Ryan Giggs. You wouldn't expect it to nip in there on the blind side and pop it away. But here, Ron, bad defending.
Yeah, I think if you look from here, you see that there's plenty of red shirts. He misses out the first 3 or 4 defenders. I would personally blame Loren on that. I think Loren's the one, he sees the picture, he's got Giggs against him, should deal with it.
Now they're sending off. We heard what Campbell said. What do you think?
Well, I don't think it was a red card. I really don't. I don't believe Sol Campbell, in possession of that ball, he's got plenty of opportunity in the game if he wants to throw an elbow at an opposing player. He's not that sort of player. I think that he's just trying to get that out of his feet. He's not the most comfortable in possession. We know that. That is a hand on the shoulder, but the leading elbow catches the player in the face. Look at the linesman. You can see from the angle that he's flagged immediately. This is virtually the linesman's angle that we're seeing there. From that angle, you can quite justify him making that decision. But I don't think the player is meant to do it. He's fending him off for me there.
I think he's deliberately knocked him.
No,
whether he's hitting particularly hard, I don't know, Andy. But I certainly think he's made contact there.
If you lead with the arm, Ron, your elbow's bound to catch him, but he's trying to fend him off. Put his arm on his shoulder.
With your elbow
Steady,
like
guys.
that.
Steady, guys. Steady. We can actually hear what the linesman said to the referee at that point. So just have a listen to this.
Caught him in the elbow. Yeah. It struck me yellow. It took me to red. Well, he seemed to stop. Yeah. He seemed to stop and deliberately felt an elbow in the face. Deliberately. Yeah.
Well, the linesman seemed quite sure there that he deliberately did it. But again, you see, this is a grey area.
Definitely yellow. Maybe leave it to you.
It's up to you. Yeah. All the best. In other words.
I think he's given him a chance there, by the way. I think the linesman's given Mark Halsey an opportunity to maybe say, there's a booking there. I'm not quite sure. We'll let you off on a yellow on that. I think he gave him a chance. And that might work for him on appeal.
Well, if they do appeal, but the thing is, at the moment, he misses the cup final and 3.
Huge miss to him as well. I mean, he's been massive all season for Arsenal, Sol Campbell, and to lose him now is absolutely vital, and I think he deserves some kind of appeal.
Okay, let's have a quick look at the run-in for both teams now. Andy?
Tough games there's coming up. Blackburn at the weekend for United. I expect them to get 3 points there. Those 2 away fixtures for Arsenal, though, Middlesbrough and Bolton, they are really tough games. Middlesbrough mean at home. Bolton involved in a dogfight at the other end. They're not going to be giving much away. And then after that, United have the possibility of building up a little bit of a cushion with Tottenham and Charlton. And then Arsenal, all the pressure could well be on them for those games at the end of the season. So it's in the melting pot. It's there for everybody. And I'll tell you what, we've got a great end of the season to look forward to.
Thanks, Andy. So the table, the gap remains the same, but Arsenal have that game in hand, which is at home to Southampton on May the 7th, 10 days before they meet in the cup final. Sol Campbell probably won't play in it. Well, we began the night thinking we might get a good idea who the champions would be for this season. I'll be honest with you, we still haven't got a clue. Good night.